been a difficult 3 years. We have experienced gridlock, we've experienced obstructionism, and we've not experienced much government. One of my heroes in the Democratic community, Adlai Stevenson, once said, "There's a new America every morning when we wake up. It's upon us, whether we want it or not." Now, Stevenson was talking about the country in a time of prosperity. New businesses, new homes being built, new job opportunities. When I wake up every morning, it's a new America until I turn on the television. And then it turns into some kind of soap opera-ish thing. We hear it the same every day. More gridlock, more obstructionism. The government no longer listens to the voice of the people, and I would like to believe, no, I want to believe, that we can have that new America. I want new ideas. I want fresh air to clean out the stagnation of a political cronyism. For some of us, the time has come to put our lives, our time, and our money in the arena. I think now I'll just invite you to meet my hope for that new America. Miss Donna Bebo.
I'd like to thank all of you for coming out this evening. I'm here because I share your concerns regarding the direction that our elected officials are taking our country. The American people, we in Oklahoma, need to have someone in D.C. who will fight for us. We need someone who doesn't just see us as statistics, but sees us as real people with real problems. We need to remove those from office who are content just playing the game. We need to remove those who meet our needs with empty promises. It's time to take back our government from those who would seek to abuse their power for their own personal gains. Public office should not be the road to wealth and fame. Our elected officials are not royalty. They're public servants. And right now, they're not serving us. And for their indifference and their greed, they need to go. One way to ensure the needs of the people are being taken seriously is to remove the influence that lobbyists and big money have on our elected officials. Corporate personhood must be revoked. And the days of insider trading on Capitol Hill need to end. We need politicians who answer to us and us alone, not lobbyists. Once money has been removed, our voices will be heard more clearly again. We've all witnessed the partisan bickering and the political games being played. This continues to get in the way of progress. We watch and listen, and we see politicians more concerned with making the other guy look bad or winning the next election than meeting the needs of the people. We've seen frustrated citizens across our country taking to the streets, demanding to have their voices heard. We've seen our friends and neighbors' homes foreclosed and their jobs lost. We've seen the divide between the wealthy and the poor increase dramatically. And meanwhile, the members of Congress are making 4 to 5 times the annual salary of the average working American. Those who are in office are able to use their knowledge, their connections to increase their wealth. These opportunities aren't available to the average American. and anywhere else this would be considered criminal. But on Capitol Hill, it's just one of the perks of the job. We must fight against corporate influence in politics. American leadership should not go to the highest bidder. The people of Oklahoma must be put above partisan games. Our country grows stronger when we continue supporting our workers and their rights. When we fight to keep jobs on American soil and work to help small businesses build and grow. Meaningful job growth comes in investing in our nation and our state. Oklahoma is blessed with abundant natural resources. We have oil, wind, and as we were all reminded last summer, plenty of sunshine. Investing in Oklahoma's energy industry is an important step towards getting and bringing an end to America's dependency on foreign oil and creating long-term job growth. And as the tide of unemployment turns, we must also come together and trim our national budget. Our government has grown too large, but any cuts should be made with full awareness of the lives they will impact. Wasteful spending must be eliminated, and we will have to tighten our belts. But it cannot be done at the expense of our nation's most vulnerable citizens, and it must not be done at the detriment of our brave service members. In working to trim the budget, we must also repeal the Bush-era tax cuts for the wealthiest Americans. Working-class Americans by extending tax cuts for those who have already had to tighten their belts. I've been through struggles like many Oklahomans are facing right now. I know what it's like to fall on hard times. I was a single mom. I waited tables, and I took as many hours as I could just to pay the rent. I know the struggle of minimum wage life. I know what it feels like to have to crunch numbers to get by. I have personally felt the effects of downsizing, and I understand the reality of unemployment. To me, these things are not statistics. I've been there. And when politicians talk about job growth, they seem to forget that they are talking about real people and real families. I'm not just another politician seeking to advance their career. I'm a mother, and I'm the wife of a retired soldier. To run a slick campaign. I don't have a big paid campaign staff. I'm just one of you, and I'm joined by people just like you. We're tired of being ignored. We're fed up with being told that's just the way it is, and things will never change. It doesn't have to be that way. Because of my belief in a government ruled by the people, for the people, and my dedication to seeing that government realized once again. Today I am announcing my candidacy for United States Representative. With your support, we can make our voices count again. No matter who you are, no matter what your background is, your voice is important, and your help is needed. I invite you to join with us as we work together to send a fresh voice to this do-nothing Congress. We need to remember, a true democracy is not fueled by money. Its heart lies with its people. And when a democracy such as ours veers off track, it's our duty to make it right. This campaign is people-powered. We are a team of volunteers. I answer to nothing but you and my own conscience. I'm not a conventional candidate, and this campaign is going to reflect that. Thank you.
Any of you have any questions correct Donna, we'll take 2 or 3, we've got plenty of time, so.
You said, you mentioned trimming the budget and all that. Are there certain part of the budgets to you that are off limits, or are you willing to cut defense spending, minor things to Social Security, Medicare, and all that, or are there certain things that you yourself refuse to touch?
I think that Social Security and Medicare have already been hit pretty hard. I think that the people that depend on those programs, like I said, they've already tightened their own belts. I think that asking them to give up even more, it's not doing right by them. As far as military spending, I think that the reality is our budget is going to need to be reduced. But we cannot do that if we are going to reduce jobs and not have jobs that these people can go to. Especially communities like ours that depend on military jobs. If we were to start slashing and cutting, that's irresponsible. We're taking away people's livelihood when they need it the most. So with that, I think yes, the budget needs to be trimmed, but it needs to be done very mindfully. Anyone else?
What kind of, do you have any ideas about using the energy policy? Like, do you have any favorite alternative energy sources?
Like I said, I think Oklahoma, we pretty much have the jackpot here as far as energy sources goes. I mean, any way that we decide to go, we have those resources right here. And I think that the key to creating jobs and to exploring green energy and reducing our dependency on foreign oil is to come together. I think that we need to bring the environmentalists, the environmental experts, and the energy companies together to see what would it take to get you to invest in green programs? What is going to make it worth it for you? Meanwhile, working with environmental groups to make sure that we're not polluting the resources that we have here. So I think that starts with communication. Anyone else?
Donna, would you have any words for Wall Street? That could be recorded.
I think that they're all very lucky not to be behind bars right now. I think that the crimes that they've perpetrated against the American people, that many of them deserve to be locked up. I think most of us can see that. All right, we have one more. Oh, really? Okay, you, little blonde girl.
The speech was the best.
She started talking about some of Samson.
He needs to go.
And that's how this all got started. I had gotten so frustrated with Tom Hall that I organized a rally in front of his office last summer. And asked him to remember who he works for. That's right. And if he didn't remember who he works for, that he wouldn't have a job anymore. And I waited and waited for somebody to step up to run against him. And I was so frustrated. I told people, well, I can't run, I'm not a politician. And he said, that's why you need to run. We don't need another politician. I'm feeling restricted.